Good morning. Am I live? I'm just starting, so I hope you can hear me and you got my announcement so we could get started in a little bit. Please let me know if you are watching me. I am wondering if somebody's out there, if you let me know. I was just outside inviting some neighbors, and I also went and got a tub of costumes that my grandchildren used to wear, and they're not wearing them anymore. So I thought maybe I could give them away along with some books. So I'm hoping I can because I have no use for them, and maybe I'll give them to the Ark if I can't get rid of them. But I would like to give them to some of you guys that are hearing me. Okay? I think I'm going to wait a little bit. Uh, I see my daughter that is here, but I don't see too many more people yet. I don't know if this is too early, but I'm hoping some more of you will get on. I know Texas, I didn't put down that Texas is a different time than California and Colorado, so maybe you guys didn't know the mountain time, central time, eastern time, that kind of thing. But I'm hoping you will log on. If not, I could wait a little bit. I saw Vero write something. Vero, are you watching me live? I just want to confirm. This is my first time, and I want to make sure that I'm on okay and you guys can see and hear me. And waiting to see if I could see more people on. I don't want to start with just a couple. And I'm wondering if the time difference is what's confusing for people. Okay, Tanya, thank you. I don't know how many of you are out there. How is this a good time to start? Because I don't know how many are out there, or should I wait a little bit? I think I might do some little housekeeping so that I can let you know what my plan is. Um, what I plan to do is to say this story, which is what I showed you, where a monster under my bed, and then show you that there's other stories that you could share with your children. An alligator in my bed, for when kids are afraid to go to bed and they want to sleep with you. And then this is a really cool book, How to Get Rid of Bad Dreams. And it's got a really fun ending. So I have a couple of these that I can give away because I have doubles. Like, I don't know if you saw my announcement, but I'm going to give away some books. And I'm going to, if I have more than one of what I'm sharing for this particular day, like these two, I can give these two away. And then I have others that I have stacks of Halloween themes. As a teacher, I have not gotten rid of all of my books, and I want to give them away. So I have books about witches and vampires and monsters. I'm looking at my piles, pumpkins, um, ghosts, and so on. I wish I could mail them to people that are watching me from out of town, but it's kind of hard to get to the post office for me right now with the pandemic. But if you are local and if you want me to save some, I will be happy to hold them for you if you want to stop by my house. So I can do that. If more of you want the book, I can do a raffle and then see whose name I pick. So for right now, when I am done, if you want these special books, I mean, not, well, they're just books like the others, but they're the ones that I'm going to share today that are appropriate for this time of year for little ones, for you to read with them, or for them to read by themselves or read to each other. Okay. So let me start by reminding you to help your little ones. I don't know if you've already carved out your jack-o'-lanterns, but this is a really fun book for the spring, for when you plant your pumpkins. It talks about the whole process of planting the pumpkin and watching it grow. It's got beautiful illustrations, you know, how the flower comes up and then the little pumpkin, and then it grows to be a big pumpkin, and then they harvest it, and then they take it home to carve. Well, since you already bought yours or picked yours, make sure to have your kids scoop out the pulp and dry the seeds by the window and save some seeds for spring, so you could plant some next spring to have some for the next season. So that's something just to remind you as a parent to do that. It'll be fun. And a lot of people roast them and salt them and eat them too. Okay, so I am going to start. Please give me some thoughts or to let me know you're there, because I'm not sure how to tell from this end. I know I see my daughter and Tanya and Jessica and Angie. So just give me a thought, and I'm hoping this works out well. Like I said, I plan to do this once a week for kids, hoping to entertain them, to give you a little break, perhaps to have them watch them, do things that are related to the season, and also to do cultural things to help them learn about our Latino culture, like I did with the Dia de los Muertos, and the Latino perspective, and traditions and crafts like the piñata. All of those are on my YouTube. So I hope you guys go there and watch them at your leisure. All right, so I'm gonna turn down the volume on my phone. So, okay. There. Okay, so I am going to start with a very simple story, because then I want to connect it to storytelling, because one of my favorite things to do that I used to do a lot when I was in school is to do live storytelling for kids. And these stories, I would share them aloud, like as a storyteller in my classrooms, in different schools that invited me, or in libraries. And I am currently writing those stories in a series of books about me as a child in the fields and how we grew up and the kinds of things that we used to do to entertain ourselves as kids when we were in the fields. You know, we used our imagination and made the field our playground. There were fun times, there were scary times, and then there were times that it was just work, hard work for a little kid to help out in the heat and the sun. But the story that I'm going to connect to you connects to something under the bed. So I am going to start. This is a very simple book. But even if you're older, please hang on. Don't get discouraged because I will connect with my oral story, and I think you might enjoy that a little better. Then at the end, so that you don't go off on me, there is, I know most of you have read Donde Viven los Monstruos, which is where the wild things are. So I have a link for you that has storytelling where they have these books and they show the illustrations on the whole screen. It's really amazing. So I'm going to put that link on at the end. So if you want your kids to see that. And then at the end, to accommodate the Spanish speakers, I am going to use those illustrations so I don't have to be flipping my picture like this, and I give you a good view of the illustrations. I'm going to try to use the illustrations on the one on the link and then read it in Spanish. So if you're not too bored and you want a kids to hang on, I'm going to honor the Spanish language for the kids that want to learn Spanish or that only speak Spanish. I'm going to read where the wild things are in Spanish. But if you want it in English, you could put on the link and have your child see it at that time. Okay, so I am hoping you will enjoy this and it will help your kids to entertain themselves and learn a little something. The other thing I wanted to tell you to keep in mind is that I'm going to encourage you when I finish reading the story, pick up vocabulary word and talk to the kids about maybe a new word that's there, have them use it in a sentence or write it in a sentence. If you want to challenge them more, have them talk about their favorite part or illustrate or write about their favorite part, or maybe do a different ending to the story. Just some activities to go beyond just listening so they can do some fun activities with a book that I hope they enjoy. All right, so this is Monster Under My Bed. I'm hoping that the light is not too bad. Let me see. Okay, so it'll be short. So it's, oh, yawn. Mommy says it's time for bed. So a lot of moms say to kids, time to go to bed. Say goodnight to Fluffy. So maybe you have a pet and you say goodnight to your pet. Say goodnight to Duffy. There's a dog that you say goodnight to. It's time to turn off the lights. It's dark in my room when mommy turns off the lights. Thump, thump, bump, bump. What is that? Have you ever heard noises when you're in bed? What is that noise? The noise is coming from under my bed. Has that ever happened to you? Scratch, scratch, thump, thump. What is under my bed? He wonders, he's scared. What do you think he's gonna do? Maya, kitty kitty? Could it be a scary monster? Or a spooky ghost? Could it be a wicked witch? Or a hairy animal? A lo mejor es el cucuy o la llorona o la mano pachona. ¿Qué será? Scratch, scratch, thump, thump. Something scary is under my bed. Mommy, there's a monster under my bed. Poor little guy, scared to death with all those sounds that he's hearing. Maya, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty. I have a kitty. I want to see if he'll come. She'll come. Mommy turns on the light. There is no monster under your bed, she says. Mommy turns off the light. Thump, thump, bump, thump. There is a noise under my bed. Scared again. Mommy, there is a monster under my bed. The little guy screams. And then Mommy, look at Mommy's face. She's not very happy. She wants to go to bed, and so she comes back and turns on the light again. Look, under my bed, there's a scary, hairy animal under my bed. There it is. The hairy under my bed is Fluffy. The whole time it was the cat. Fluffy, not a monster, not a dragon, not a witch, but just his kitty cat. Good night. And he sleeps with his kitty. I have a kitty. I'm trying to get her over here so you could meet Maya, since this is part of a. Let me see if I can get her. Maya, kitty, kitty, here, Maya, here, baby, kitty, Maya, Maya, kitty, kitty, here, Maya. She's probably eating. I don't see her in the living room. She's probably in the dining room where her food is. Well, we'll see if she'll walk over here, and I'll introduce you to her. All right, so that was the story. The other story, I won't read it because I don't know if we'll have time for all of these short stories. But this is a really fun one too. There's an alligator under my bed. So there's this little guy who thinks there's an alligator under his bed. And he had to be very careful when he got into his bed because he didn't want to get snapped by it. So he called his mommy and daddy just the same as the other little guy. And I'm sure you do too at times. But they never saw it. So he figured, it's up to me to figure this out. So he steps down and he goes out, and he's very creative. So he goes to the kitchen to get some bait. Bait would be a good word, moms, for the kids. Those of you that fish might be familiar with them on how to say, how to use bait in a sentence, or when they go fishing. So he goes to the kitchen and he fills a paper bag with what he thinks the alligator will like, and he puts them in the garage. So you could see. I hear Maya. Maya, kitty, kitty. And it makes it go from under the bed, and it goes eating it as it follows the trail of food and goes down the hall and crawls into the garage. Now this might be a good prediction page. What is he going to do? What is that little boy going to do? You think he's going to trap him? He went and he closed the door, slammed it shut, went to his bed, and there wasn't even a mess in the hall because the alligator ate it all up. Let's see how I can center this for you. There. And now there's an alligator in the garage. I wonder if my dad will have trouble getting his car tomorrow. Now, he doesn't have a problem, but his dad does. His dad does. So he's thinking about it. So he left him a note saying, "Dear Dad, there's an alligator in the garage. If you need help, wake me up. Warning, be careful." So that is the two stories that I will read to you. Like I say, if you live close by, I'm sorry I can't go to the mailbox, and plus that's expensive. I would mail some of these little ones off to you, but I can give away an alligator under my bed because I have two of those, and I can give how to get rid of dreams. I won't go into this one, but this one gives you solutions on what to do if you have these dreams. I'll just read one page. If you dream you're walking in the park or on a sunny afternoon when a huge dragon jumps out from behind of a bush and tries to fry you with his fiery breath, don't worry. All you have to do is pour your shrink ray laser out of your belt and fire it until the dragon shrivels to a size of a kitten. Then you can be the only one in school with your own pet dragon. So it has all these kinds of solutions. So this is a fun one too, and I can give one of these away too. Okay, so that's the end of those stories. Now I'm going to go into my oral storytelling, and then at the end, al final voy a leer este libro Donde viven los monstruos, que es, no sé si lo han escuchado en inglés, Where the Wild Things Are. Es un libro muy popular por Maurice Sendak. Así que si quieren en español para sus niños, para que aprendan español, pueden quedarse al final a escucharlo. Así no tengo que repetir los otros cuentos como he hecho con mis otras presentaciones, pero puedo leérselas en español. Y eso de decir el cuento oral en español, que voy a decir ahorita, voy a ver si lo hago bilingüe para ver si se entiende, y necesito que me digan que si es confuso, que si prefieren que lo haga primero en inglés y luego en español, que a mí es poquito de tiempo, pero puedo hacerlo, no se tarda mucho. Así que quiero que me den sus sugerencias. Give me your feedback if you want me to do it bilingually when I do my oral storytelling, or you want me to do it first in English and then in Spanish, so the kids can focus on the one language. Okay, well, now I'm going to make a connection, and I'm going to encourage you moms to also have your kids talk about when they were scared and they called you to their bedroom or they crawled into your bed. Well, let me tell you, a long time ago when I was a little girl, there's some kids watching, we used to go up north to work in the fields, and we went to different states. One of the states we went to was Montana. We lived in this farm that had lots of animals. It was really, really fun in the day. I would go and watch the farmer milk the cows, and he let us milk it. And we would feed the horses. We would give it hay, and we would feed the chickens and collect the eggs and have fun with that. I have one about the chicken. That's another story I will share later. But right now I'm going to focus on what happened to me when I was living in that farm. So the farm was an amazing place to be. When it rained, there was puddles and there were tadpoles that we would play with, and we would just learn how they grew, and that was kind of like our science lesson. And so we learned a lot about science and nature by living and doing and watching the farmer and just experiencing the life on the farm. On that farm, we lived in a caboose, an old train car. If you've seen trains, those cars that are hooked together, the last one is a caboose. I tried to upload a caboose, and my phone is not working well, so I couldn't get it for you. But this is an old train car. Ours wasn't that bad, but it was sitting on the ground. That caboose was without any wheels. It was just flat on the floor, and that was our home. In that home, in that caboose, there were a few mattresses sitting on cinder blocks. There were other beds, old beds maybe, but it was just one room, and outside was the farm. And in the day, like I said, it was lots of fun. I love being there. I have lots of stories to share about playing in the farm with the farm animals and the farmers' kids and the farmer who was really nice to us, Mr. Roy Brown. But at night, it got really different. It got spooky. So at night, especially when it would storm and it would, you could hear the thunder and you could hear the rain and you could hear the scratching of the old tree scratching on the old train car. It got pretty scary. So I was there. I hear Maya. She's walking up. Maya, Ben, kitty, kitty. She likes to sit by me, but sometimes I tell her to go away because she won't let me work. Ben, Ben, kitty, kitty. Anyway, I wanted to show you because it has a connection to our story about the little guys and that cat. Ben, Ben. It's okay. It's okay. See, this is Maya. Hey, Maya. Say hi. Maya is a beautiful cat. She has green jade eyes, so I called her Maya, like the jade of the Mayan people from the Aztec and the Maya. She loves to be cuddled more than I can do for her, so she sometimes get kind of pesky. So meet Maya. She's my little companion here in the house. She's a good cat. So now she's going to want to be with me. Maybe she'll sit behind me. She likes to sit behind me. We'll see. Okay, so anyway, on the in that night, it got really spooky. And so I would sleep and I would be scared to go out because all of those sounds you could hear, and then you could hear the ribbit, ribbit, ribbit of the toads and the frogs outside. And then from the hill, I could hear the oh, oh, oh of the wolves and the coyotes. And then there would be an owl in the old tree that would go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And it would make me scared. And so I was tucked in my little bed and I would cover myself and I laid there and just didn't want to go outside. And a little while later, guess what happens? I don't know if it happens to you in the middle of the night, but it was, I don't know, about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I had to go potty. I had to go to the bathroom. I had to go pee. So then I thought, oh no, I don't want to go outside. I can't because we didn't have a bathroom inside. What we had was an outhouse. I don't know if you ever seen a porta potty when you go to the flea markets or go outside, but we didn't have a porta potty. We had these old bathrooms that were old and had spider webs and they were not so clean. My mom did her best to clean it, but it was an open hole on the ground. And it was pretty scary to go in there especially at night. Can you see it? And we would have to go there, open that door, and sit in on the toilet. And so I started praying. I said, "Ay, Diosito, por favor, I don't wanna go. Help me hold this. I don't want to go." But then I was afraid that I might pee myself or pee the bed, and oh my gosh, if I would do that, my brothers, Bolo, and Memo, and all of my brothers would make fun of me, and then I would never hear the end of it. So I was hoping and praying that my feelings for going to go would go away, because I didn't want to go out. And so I went back to sleep, and then I was tossing and turning and turning and tossing, and then boom, I rolled out and I fell under by the bed on the floor. And I thought, oh my goodness, who pulled me here? I wonder if it was La Mano Pachona, or the boogeyman, or La Llorona. And so I crawled back on my bed and I covered my head, covered my feet, and waited and started praying harder, hoping the sun would rise and make the darkness into light, because I was so, so scared. And then I was hoping and watching out from that little window of the caboose for the sun rays to come through, but nothing. The only thing I heard a little bit later were the pots and pans that my mom was rattling. And then I could hear her sizzling the chorizo and her huevitos and her tortillas, the rolling of the tortillas. And I thought, oh, it's gonna be light. It's gonna be daytime soon, because Mama is up making our lunch. So I thought I gotta hold it a little bit more. So I was there just holding it as much as I could, hoping for the first ray of the sun to come and light up the farm, so I could run to the outhouse. And as soon as I saw the first ray of the sun, I ran as fast as I could. I didn't even check for spiders. I squatted on that board and I went pee and got out as fast as I could and went to bed. I was so relieved. I went home. I washed my hand in the little basin that my mom had with a little bar of soap she put there. And I went back to bed for a little bit more. Then the daytime came, and again there was a lot of fun. I went to pet the lambs, to help feed the horses. I went to check on the chickens, and then we went to see Roy Brown milk the cows. Now, when Roy was milking the cows, it was so fun. He would milk the cows, and then he would say, "You want to try?" And he would have us milk, pull on the udders of the cow. And then when I tried for the first time, I didn't know how to do it. And I think I squeezed too hard, and that cow went with its tail and swatted me on the face. And everybody started laughing. My brothers were there, and they were laughing. And Roy said, "It's okay. You'll learn. You just need practice." And then the funniest thing that happened was when Roy was milking the cows, the kitty cats, his cat and the little kittens knew the exact time he would milk, and they would come up very carefully through the wet soil and that was in the corral. And they came and they just sat there patiently, knowing what will come next. And what Roy would do is to take that udder and point it towards the cat and squeeze it, and shh, you could see a stream of milk go into the face of the cats, and the cats would go, and they would clean their paws, and the kittens would do the same thing, and they just loved it, and we loved watching it. It made us laugh. It was so much fun. Uh, so then we went and we took. He gave some eggs for Mama so she could use for her chorizo to make the taquitos. So we went to work, and then we went to work, and I helped bring the water, took care of my baby brother, and helped them whenever I could, or I walked along with them to hear them talk, to listen to their jokes. and just be with them. And it was so much fun to go and joyride because I could do that because we used to live close to the farm. So I could go to the field and then to the farm. And so my brothers and I would go to the farm when we weren't needed. Uh, and so when my baby brother Jaime was asleep, we would take off and go play a little bit in the farm. And we loved it. I have such fun, cute memories of that. One time I saw a lamb that was there. That the lamb that Roy had, she had several, and I went and petted one. It felt so soft, and she was short. So I thought I would straddle it. So I got on the lamb and I started petting it. And I was so little that I was on my tippy toes. And then when I was petting it, I lost my balance and I went boom, and I landed on the lamb, and she got scared and she took off with me on it. I'm going, whoa, 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 lamb. And I was going to the side, almost falling. I was so scared and embarrassed that somebody might see me until finally the lamb stopped. And I looked back to make sure nobody had seen me because my brothers would be laughing at me forever. Nobody saw me and I said nothing. So I went back home and I went to my mom and I went to check on my brother. And then they came home, we had dinner, and then it was dark again. And then once again, I heard those noises from far away, the owl hooting. Oh, I have to use something. I have these props. So I'm going to try to make you listen to what I was afraid of. I'm see if I can do this. So the owl would hoot and it would scare me. And then far away, you could hear some noises that would be scary, and the howling, ow, 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 of the wolves and the coyotes, and I was scared all over again. And then there I was asleep, and I was tossing and turning and turning and tossing. And then I went boom, and I was on the floor again. And I looked under the bed, and under the bed were something that looked like old hands that were hairy, like the mano pachona. And I looked and I jumped on my bed, covered my head and covered my feet, and started shaking and trembling because I was scared because I thought there's something under my bed. I think the mano pachona is there, and if I go to the bathroom, he's going to pull my legs and take me under the bed and take me away forever, so I will never, ever see my family again. And I was so scared. I thought I'm going to go back to sleep until it's daytime so this can be over because it was so scary at night. And then again, it happened. I had to go to the bathroom again. And again, I waited and I prayed, and I heard my mama get up to fix her lunches like at 4 or 5 in the morning. And then I raced to the bathroom. And then I came back, washed my hands, and stayed up to help my mom make the tacos. And then the day went, and then I went a third time. I played in the farm like as usual, having fun. And then the nighttime came again. And then when I was in that bed again, the same thing repeated. I heard the noises that scared me to death, and then I found myself boom on the floor, and I thought, oh, that Manu Pachona must have reached out and grabbed me and took me under the bed, and I was so scared. And then, since it was the third time, I kind of laid there on my belly, looking under the bed, and I'm thinking, what is that? And I got the courage to lift the bed, the blanket, and to look under the bed to see what really was there. And guess what it was? It wasn't a cat. It wasn't a dragon. It wasn't la mano pachona, ni la llorona, ni el cucuy. It was my brother's old rolled up mud caked socks under the bed that were all crumpled up. in the under the bed. And I looked at it and I said, huh, there's no monster under my bed. It's just my brother's stinky socks. And so then I just got up and said, Mamá, ahorita vengo. She says, ¿a dónde vas? I'm going to the bathroom. ¿No tienes miedo? No, ya no tengo nada de miedo. Y me fui, me dio la batería, la linterna, y me fui al baño y vine. Y cuando se levantaron mis hermanos, les dijo, María se fue al baño sola. She went to the bathroom all by herself, and she wasn't even scared. And my brothers were impressed. They said, oh, Dios mío, qué valiente, ni yo voy en la noche. Yo tengo miedo, me dijeron mis hermanos. Les dije, pues eso para que aprendan que las mujeres también son valientes y no somos miedosas. Y desde entonces, mis hermanos me trataron mejor. Ya pasó la noche, el día y la noche, y venía la noche y ya no tenía miedo, porque se me quitó y me hice un poquito más valiente. Y así ya puedo tomar más riesgos, porque sé que soy valiente. Espero que ustedes también crezcan y sean valientes. Bueno, colorín colorado, el cuento se ha acabado. Click clack, that is the end of my story. So let me see here very quickly. So I did talk about these things that I have on my notes. Give me some feedback. What did you think? Did your kids enjoy it? Did they come out? Were they listening? Was this too early? I'm not sure. Because now I wanted to show you. I don't know if I can do this, because if I do the link right now, it's going to... I'm going to do the link after I log off. And then I'll see how I do that. This other book that I told you where the wild things are. But I don't know that I could do like I planned, because if I mess with anything on the computer, I think I won't be live if I turn on this screen. I would have to use my camera to show the illustrations. So maybe I should log off and log on again, so that I could click on that link, have the illustrations, turn on the volume, and then read it in Spanish. I think that's the best thing I can do. So, okay, so I think I am going to log off, and I'm going to log in right back, and I'm going to see if I can make the Spanish story work. So let me turn on my phone so that I can use the camera to use the illustrations, and then I'll read the pages as he goes. Okay, I'm not seeing any more comments. I'm hoping I had a little bit of an audience, and then to grow it as I do this. I'm hoping you will enjoy this. And if you can't, I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to end the video, and then I'm going to see if I can save it for you to see later if you didn't get a chance to see it. But do give me some feedback so I can see if this is going to work for you, and see if it's worth the time for your little ones and yourself. Okay, so I'm going to end the video. Thank you for those of you that are watching or that will watch. Please give me your feedback. All right.